Brothers and sisters, I'd like to talk about chicken nuggets and printing press money. An astonishing 60% of the food Americans eat is ultra-processed. Examples include potato chips, candy, breakfast cereals, pizza, chicken nuggets, soda, packaged baked goods, microwavable frozen meals, instant soups and sauces, and much more. Ultra-processed foods weaken the immune system. They lead to obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. They contain unnaturally high amounts of sugar, salt, processed oils, and unhealthy fats. They supply only calories. Concentrated calories are addictive. They produce a high, as with a drug. Is it not surprising that over 90% of Americans are overweight or obese? Of the remaining 10%, most are smokers or have illnesses that keep their weight down. Only 2% of Americans can be said to be healthy. There are more overweight and more sickly people in America than ever before. And this helps us to understand the response to the pandemic. Now, anyone 18 and younger has a 99.998% chance of recovery with no treatment. For those between 18 and 45, people who are healthy have a 99.95% of recovery with no treatment. And this according to the CDC. Why then the panic? Why the delirium? And in my understanding, this is because people have a sense deep down of how imbalanced we have become. And this is all the more tragic, as no nation spends more on health care than we do. And it's so sad that prevention is ignored. Now let's jump from the bacteriological world to the economy. The production of commodities by means of commodities. It is replete with cycles both short-term and of longer duration. There are even convulsions. They are called recessions or depressions. And they are an essential part of the metabolism by which the economy heals itself. It is a living thing, sustained by the intentioned expenditure of the muscles, nerves, and sinew of 160 million working Americans. 5 decades ago, Nixon ended the link between the dollar and gold. This enabled the government to print money to pay for the war in Vietnam. Since then, there has been one stimulus package after another. Endless money has created an extraordinary bubble in the stock market. In the 1970s, U.S. debt was under $1 trillion. Now it's 28 trillion. Total U.S. debt, including household, businesses, and government, was under 2 trillion in 1970, and now it's over $85 trillion. A very small group of people have become extraordinarily rich at the expense of those who work hard for a living. The top 1/10 of 1% own as much wealth as the bottom 90%. The top 1% has seen its wealth increase by $25 trillion, but by $25 trillion since 2009. This extraordinary polarization of wealth is without precedent in American history. So at every downturn, they pump more and more money. They're forever blowing bubbles. The Fed is printing money at the rate of $30 billion per week. There's inflation in raw commodities and in manufacturers' goods. The housing market is one huge bubble. Wall Street is the largest bubble ever. Consumer prices are beginning to soar, starting with the price of gas. And this summer, we've all seen how the prices of organic fruit have skyrocketed. How will it all end? Most likely in hyperinflation, followed by a chain reaction of bankruptcies and an economic crash. Let's go deeper. The bubbles and the exceedingly slow growth over the last decade are indicative of something not quite visible. Don't blame it on the pandemic. The pandemic only exacerbated the symptoms. Something else is going on. It was America that was at one point at the forefront of the Industrial Revolution. It was America that showed the world how to mass produce everything from automobiles to televisions to airplanes. But now we are witnessing the deindustrialization. Tens of thousands of factories have left the states in the past decades alone. Millions upon millions of manufacturing jobs have been lost in the same period. The United States has lost a whopping 32% of its manufacturing jobs since the year 2000. That comes to 5.5 million manufacturing jobs. Last year, China shipped $5.63 billion worth of goods to America, but purchased only $120 billion worth of stuff from here. In other words, there was a $443 billion gap. It doesn't make sense. We've shifted our manufacturing base to Asia. In summary, America has gone from a manufacturing economy to one based on finance, insurance, and real estate. America has made itself uncompetitive. Instead of rebuilding its industrial base, the engine of accumulation, the only response is print more money. Do you see an analogy here with a virus? Even in the midst of the pandemic, there were long lines in front of the fast food stores. The face masks, the social distancing. Is this not analogous to printing press money? In both cases, the deep causes, on the one hand, an imbalanced, unnatural diet, and on the other, the loss of our industrial base. The deep causes are ignored. Yet, brothers and sisters, I am convinced that you will pull us through, as you did after Pearl Harbor, in your energy, your wisdom, and your good sense. You will build here, I am convinced, a garden for the American spirit. Let us go forth with confidence, with fortitude, in the regeneration, renewal, and redemption that you will one day bring about. Thank you indeed for allowing me to share a few thoughts. Your comments and suggestions are always welcome.